The big day is drawing even closer and we are slowly but quite quickly actually making our way to Christmas Day. Last week we made a sardine tin as our hanging decoration, but this week I wanted to make something a little more traditional, as much of traditional as I can be, with some sustainable qualities that I think you might enjoy. So join me this week as we make this avant-garde tree hanging decoration, very Christmassy, very specific, and we reuse some old fabrics that would otherwise be thrown away. Let's crack on. So as I said in the opening titles, we have made some more non-traditional Christmas decorations. If you are interested, we made a sardine tin last week, so I urge you to check that out. But today, we're going to be making something a little bit more normal. Though I say that, nothing about me is normal. So this can't really be either, but this is an artistic interpretation on a Christmas tree, and that is something that we're going to make today. But before we do, just a quick disclaimer, I use a mixture of very professional and incredibly unprofessional methods when making anything. If you see something here today that works for you, that's fantastic, but if you see something that you just can't stand, I respect it, and that's fine. This is just how I make my stuff. With that said, we're going to go ahead. Now you can see here, this is one I made last year. Now these were an absolute dream for me. Usually, as you may or may not have seen on my Instagram, I like to make gifts specific to the people that I'm making them for. Though unfortunately, I was a bit too busy last year, so I just made these. It was a genuine factory. I was churning these out morning, noon and night. And this is what I came up with. It was a really simple and easy design that's still really fun and festive, and it's incredibly sustainable, which is also really good. Now, if you remember last week, I told you about this box here. Now this box here is every single offcut and excess bit of fabric that I've ever used. Wool as well. I'm doing Ramona's hair at the moment. And what I do is I either reuse it for decoration or I break it down. And when I break it down, it takes ages and the hand cramps are mighty, but you get this really good stuffing. It's free and it's reusable, and it's much better than throwing all these offcuts away. But in the midst of all this, I've got some bigger bits and bobs that are going to be really fun to use as decoration. On this Christmas tree decoration I've made, I've kind of layered reusable fabric strips all the way down, and then I've used some on the top as well as little bows for the end. My box full of incredibly important crap is going to help us today, so if you do ever get any offcuts when you're working on things, don't throw them away, because we can always find a good use for them, even if you just chop them up into stuffing. I may begin with a light peruse of my fabrics to see what offcuts I want to use. I've got some great stuff in here. I mean, look at this beautiful blue bit of glitter. I've got barely any of it left, but it's amazing, so I'm definitely going to use that. I've also, quite topical, got some Christmas tree offcut fabric, which might be a shout. I've got some sparkly red, which will be quite nice, and I really do enjoy this fuchsia pink. It's one of my favourite colours. I love it so much. It's kind of like that pink that you can only really get on a neon light. Do you know what I mean? It's beautiful, so I think I'm going to use some of that. This one's got some holly on it. How topical. Okay, we're going to use that as well. It doesn't have to be Christmas themed offcuts, by the way, on top. It's just that I have some, so I'm going to use them, but you don't need to do that. Got a little bit of gold glittery stuff. That might be nice. This is quite nice. This is like sort of white with little red flowers on it. Quite farmy, quite cottagey. I think that looks really sweet. I've got red but different. Sparkly red but different. It's got squares this time, so that might be a shout as well. Honestly, the hours of fun I could spend in here. I've actually got the first rendition of Dr. Cecil's skin. Before he looked like this, I made him like this, but he looked too much like Zippy from Rainbows, so I called it and started again. Kind of like a nice strip of orange and green ribbon. That might be nice. Kind of matches my nails. I got my nails done for Christmas. And then I've got some green that's kind of been sewn together already. That's left over from my Kermit hat. I made a Kermit hat and a Gonzo hat for a party, and I got a bit carried away with it and made loads of embellishments all the way around the edges, and this is one of the offcuts from that, so I might use that as well. I think we've got enough to be getting on with for now, so I'm going to put this box to one side, and over here you may see I've got an absolute mountain of fabrics to use, and these are all, I'm pleased to say, thrifted from charity shops or pop-up stalls for charities. Basically, in my village where I come from, my granny helps out with a local cat charity, and once a year they put on a vintage fabric sale, and you can get all this for like £1. It's absolutely insane, and I go to town. It's my favourite day of the year whenever I go, and I've got some absolute bangers, if I do say so myself. I've got this this, it looks kind of 90s-ish, like it's got Santas on it, sort of vintage starry Santas, which is really amazing. So that might be a contender for the base of our tree. And then I've got these like reindeer fabric. I think when you're looking for fabric for the festive season, I always try and thrift Christmas fabric because it is so seasonal and topical. I'm only really going to use it for 1 month of the year, so I don't want to pay full price and I want to use something that already exists instead of buying something new. So I only ever get my Christmas fabrics from thrifted charity occasions. I think actually I'm going to go with this green with little Santas on it. I think it's really fun and topical, and then we might use this later on, but I'm going to start with that. But before we start, I've got to make my Christmas tree shape. In this original, I went for a very typical tree shape. Very easy, very simple, nothing too untoward. The thing that you've got to bear in mind is that the less pronounced these spiky bits are on the outside of the tree, the less they're going to show up in your sewing. You've got to really have pronounced shaping for it to show up in your stitching. This is my sewing machine, by the way. She's incredibly decrepit and sometimes she beeps at me. She also smells like burning and can only run for about 10 minutes at a time. I'm going to just try and make, so I'm left-handed, so I don't want to cover anything up, but I'm just going to try and make my curves as pronounced as possible and drawing a basic tree shape with a pen that is running out. Doesn't have to be completely neat either, because as we've seen from the final product, it's not neat anyway. Kind of like that. Something kind of easy, simple. If neatness isn't your strong suit, just fold it in half at the point and follow the line that you're the most happy with, I suppose you could say. And then I'm gonna unfold it and we've got a much better Christmas tree than I drew. This fabric is just so cool, look at that. So I'm gonna fold this open, and on the underside, making sure the pattern is facing upwards underneath, I'm going to draw this out twice, one facing this way, one facing the other way. Okay, so I've drawn them both out and I'm now going to cut them out, and as I cut them out I'm going to leave a light gap around the edges. See, and the good thing about this is that we get more Christmas themed offcuts for things we do in the future. I've got my box down here, by the way, I'm not just littering in my own home. I've got my 2 bits of tree, so I'm going to look at my bits of tree, kind of just pick the side that I like the most, and I think I'm going to go with this one. Now we're going to use our offcuts and lay them out essentially. As simple as this, I'm just going to lay it out on the front. You can see here that I've used 1 strip of stitching to connect all of these pieces in place, and then another bit of stitching to outline the edge of the shape. Start by just laying down your shape and essentially just laying out strips of fabric in a place that you like them. Don't worry that we're going over the edge of the shape, we're going to fix that, but for now just put bits where you want them to be. That's what it's all about. Just having a little bit of freedom and kind of going where your mind takes you a little bit. I've got to have that pink in there because I love that pink so much. Oh, do I want that as the top actually? Oh God, what a choice. I'm spoiled. Let's do it. Oh, you see how lovely that gold goes with the pink? Absolutely on a winner. Okay, must use this blue because that is just cheddar gorge. Look at that. The other bits of offcuts we can use as the ribbons, so don't worry too much, but I'm going to put them to one side, and I think I've got the layout that I want. Okay, actually I found a little bit of rainbow fabric which suits it better. Absolutely, yeah, I think that is the way to do it. So now I'm kind of going to like spatula it up a little bit as much as I can, and all we're going to do is a lovely little stitch down the center with my trusty, very trustworthy machine here. Usually I like to pick sort of a multicolored thread to sew this with, but I don't know if I've got any left, so I'm just going to go with something big and bright. I tell an absolute hunk of lies. I've got a tiny little bit of multicolored thread left, so I'm going to put that onto my machine. Oh no. A very unfortunate thing has happened where my sewing machine has decided to say goodbye to the thing that holds my thread. So we're going to try our best to still see if this works. I doubt it. Okay, so I'm going to see how best I can do this with this thread thing that's missing, holding it, and see how far we get. We've got our little Christmas tree here, and all of our bits of fabric are just lying straight in the middle. We've got a lot of stitches that we can use with this machine. I only use these for embellishing and embroidering purposes. I don't use them practically. I just see this as a little moon thing and some stars. I'm going to try and use the star thing because I think it looks nice. So I'm just going to set it to 25, do one straight line all the way down the center of my tree. You can see those stars begin to be formed, and I'm just holding it down. Make sure that these are all nice and straight still. Keep that really nice and taut. This might just have to be the manual way I do this for a while. Okay, lovely. And just as our tension gets tight, we have done a little line all the way down. You can see that it's kind of colour changing, which is going to be really fun. So next I'm going to sew around the edge of my tree and attach it to the back of my tree, but I'm going to leave a gap at the bottom so that we can stuff it. Also, what you're going to need is a bit of wool or string. I've just got a little bit here that I'm using for Ramona's hair, and I'm just going to tie a knot in the loose part at the bottom, and once we get to the top of the tree, I'm going to sew this inside our shape so that it's got a little hanging to go into. If you wanted to make it neater, you could totally sew this inside out and flip it, but I really like that texture, so I'm going to keep it outside. Kind of roughly line them up as best I can, but you know, no pressure. This is more about the fun of the craft than the result. I'm just going to pin that into place. I'm going to set my machine back to 0. I just want a bog standard stitch for this bit, and I'm going to release more of my bloody string. I can't believe I'm resorted to this. She is really packing in the punches, and I could absolutely do with a new one for Christmas. If I could wink, now would be the time. And then I'm going to slowly go around the edges. Don't worry if you've got any overlaps or underbits, because we're going to go through it afterwards with a little bit of finery and snip off any excess part. So I want to make sure that my bits here are laying flat, and I'm going to begin going around the edges of my shape. Following the shape on the top, don't worry about the overlap on the bottom. Do you see this top of the tree flap? I'm going to open that and pop in my knot so that that gets sewn in place. We've got the basis of our Christmas tree here. Now it looks like it's in tatters, and that's because it is, so don't worry, we're gonna make it look nicer. But first I'm gonna stuff it, and I'm gonna stuff it with my box of crap. I'm just pushing our little spare bits of fabric and offcuts into our tree to just give it a little bit of plumpness. It can be a little bit messy, but just bear with it, because it is such a good thing to use it for instead of throwing it away, for sure. So I think I've stuffed it as much as I want to stuff it. I'm now gonna just stitch up this bottom bit, making sure everything I've put in to stuff it is kind of pushed in as much as we can so it doesn't get caught. All it's going to take is a straight line all the way across the bottom. I want to keep both bits nice and tight. All right, and just like that, we've got ourselves a tree. Now we just need to tidy it up a little bit, and then she is good to go. It is literally that quick and easy. So you can see that we've got all these excess bits here that we haven't cut off yet. So I'm going to go around, and using the back of the tree as my guide this time, I'm going to look at any bit where it overlaps or doesn't work, and I'm going to cut it straight away, all the way around, getting off any bits of excess thread, any bits of excess fabric, unless you want to keep them on in case you like the style. But it just makes it look a bit finer, especially as we've kind of done like an avant-garde shape anyway. I accidentally snipped the little bit, but that's okay. I'm just, for the purposes of this, going to tie it back together. That was a mistake. For the little bits of excess fabric that we didn't use, I'm going to use them to make bows. So I've got this long green bit here, and really easy, really simple. I'm just going to tie a knot in it at the top, kind of just like that. Really easy. And then I'm just going to get other bits of fabric that I like and do the same thing. Okay, and you should have something like this. This is absolutely what we're going for. A little bit of shabby chic, a little bit of fun with loads of texture, and you've reused all the bits that would otherwise completely go to waste. I think this is a really fun and cute little project, especially for little people in your life or big people in your life. If you enjoy sewing at all and you want to save some money and help the environment and enjoy Christmas, this is the craft for you for sure. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it and you found it relaxing in any way, then please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you can be told when we next upload another session. Next week, I'm not sure, we might do a candy cane, we might do an OXO cube. Let me know if you want something traditional or non-traditional down below, and I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.